here with Isaac Smithers from Sault Ste. Marie to talk about the Sabercats and a little bit about him committing to Holland College. How are you today, Isaac?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you talk a little bit about, you went to White Pines this year in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes.
Not the last couple of years they've struggled to have a football program.
Yep.
And now you're going on to college. How did you stay prepared even though you didn't really have a program at the high school?
It was kind of tough. Not gonna lie. The coaches made it easy for me. The coaches just kept telling me to come and we'd get through it. And we'd always make sure it was all good and we'd fill a team for a game. And we always did our best to do that. We struggled with that for the last year for sure. Last year was a problem. We ended up having to fold our team. The league decided not to let us play with 18 guys anymore, but for injury reasons. But that's nothing else we can do about that.
And as a senior there, with let's say playing, and unfortunately the scores were quite hard for you guys. It just kept. You guys still had the motivation to step on the field every week, though. Even is it just because of the love of the game?
Yeah, it was mainly for the love of the game, and I was already there. I had done my first 2 years there, and I had a team for the first 2 years, and I had a team for the third year. Had a partial team for the fourth year. Went back for the fifth year to try and see if we could make it happen again, and it only happened for about 2 games, and we were done. But the motivation is definitely there for the love of the sport to keep going back out on the field and keep winning.
And can you take us a little bit about being from Northern Ontario?
Yeah.
And it's not like being in Southern Ontario, so getting recruited,
Yeah.
being recruited by the Holland College Hurricanes in the Atlantic Football League.
Yeah.
Can you take us a little bit about recruiting and how you feel about recruiting to the Hurricanes program?
Sure. I got introduced to the Holland Hurricanes when I was in grade 10. I heard about who they were, found out it was a good program and it was an interesting program to look at. So heard about it in grade 10. And then grade 11 came by, showed a little more interest in it, looked up into it, saw who their coach was, learned about their team, learned about stuff like that. Then grade 11 came and the coach messaged me. He asked me, grade 12 came, the coach asked me if I was interested in playing and coming down for a visit, and I said, yes, that's awesome, I'd love to. Went out for a visit over Thanksgiving weekend, saw the school, met all the coaches and the players, felt like home there, it was awesome. The school's nice, everything was going on. I was like, well, yeah, I'd love to play here next year, so I ended up committing to play.
And with the Atlantic Football League, 4 teams,
Yep.
they have a lot of players that move on to CIS.
Yep.
Now, is that one of your goals to help further your football career?
Yes, it is. I actually plan to take 2 years at Holland College and play 2 years of football, and then transfer over to university and play another 2 years of football and take another program.
So, and it's something about that next step again.
Yep.
Talk to mom and dad. Education's always first.
Yeah.
And then what are you looking to take at school while you're playing?
I'm taking a sport and leisure program at which I'm interested in taking. It seems like it's going to be a good course.
And now being a veteran here, just to turn tables a little bit with the Sabercats.
Yep.
Being a veteran, final year of Sabercats.
Yep.
I know the goal is always a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 seasons you guys have had that getting to the final has been.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to be done, like say from a veteran's point of view, to get there?
Well, I think it's just motivation for the whole team. We got to get everyone going. We got to make sure everyone's ready on game days. That's our job. We got to make sure everyone's ready to go and ready to give 110% effort the whole game. That's the best we can do for that, right?
Well, thank you very much, and good luck this summer, and hopefully we can get you back on camera, and good luck for sure for the fall.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
We are here today with Holland College Hurricane coach Steve Lettner. How are you today, Steve?
Great, sir. How you doing?
Good. Talking a little bit about the commitment of Isaac Smithers of Sault Ste. Marie, but can you tell us, for the people who don't know, a little bit about the Holland College Hurricane program and what the Atlantic Football League's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we're here on the East Coast in Prince Edward Island. We have a really good niche, I guess you can say, in the market of football. Is we're one of, if not the only, college in Canada that actually offers football. So that's a really good plus for us, because especially we offer trades and just about any type of trade you want to get into, plus business and marketing, sport and leisure. So it's there's a lot of good opportunities here. People choose to come here. It's a 2-and-2 program with a lot of universities on the East Coast, which really works out. So it's as far as that aspect, it's been a really good plus for us with football, having football, because again, we get some of those players who just kind of want to come to school and play football, but we also get those kids who, which we really preach, academics is just trying to get the academics where they want them to be, so they can get to the next level, to get to U Sports or AUS or whatever it might be. And so we, that's one thing we really push here is academics, and push kids to, help them get to that level so that they can go on and play after they leave here. And we've had great success. If people follow, especially CFL Combine and whatnot, we had a player Jay Dearborn, who played here before going and playing at Carleton, and is now, getting ready to be drafted in the CFL. So we've had a lot of good success here at Holland College. In the AFL, it's a great Atlantic League. There's 4 teams that play in the league: Dalhousie, University of New Brunswick St. John's, and University of New Brunswick Fredericton. It's great. Like I said, I've been here 5 years. We're going into year 10, and here at Holland College, we have 4 championships, which is the most in the league, and plan on adding a 5th one this year. So.
And we were just talking off air, like say you just finished a combine today, and
Yeah.
How would you address this year's recruiting class for 2019, and especially right tackle Isaac Smithers from here in Sault
Yeah.
Ste. Marie?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I just was talking with a couple of my coaches this weekend, and actually with the recruiting aspect, really excited because, like everybody, I think every university in Canada struggled with having offensive linemen, and that was a big struggle that we had last year. We were small on the offensive line, but this year, Isaac especially was high up on our list. A guy we had been talking to over the last year, and so he was pretty high up on our list. And so when we knew that. He wanted to commit and come to Holland College. We were pretty excited because we have a great class of linemen coming in, which is what we're really excited for. Some guys from different parts of Canada. We actually have some guys from PEI itself, some offensive linemen that'll be coming in and playing for us. So we're really excited about that because we're loaded in a lot of positions. And when I say loaded, just I guess for coaches aspect of things that we look at. So again, our offensive line was a big struggle for us last year. And now we're, like I said, we're having don't want to give out all my secrets, but we've had a big year in recruiting with offensive linemen. So we're pretty excited about looking forward to the upcoming year and having, kids like Isaac, especially with us. Like I said, he was a high up on our list for us. So we were pretty excited about that.
And the question, where again, you're in PEI, so you're far
Yep.
as you can go in Canada East. And with us being in Northern Ontario and Sault Ste. Marie, we're 8 hours north of Toronto. And a lot of
Right.
when it comes to not just football, but all different sports in Northern Ontario, how do you find a kid like Isaac? Like kids would get a little worried about being seen. How did
Yeah.
your program find Isaac?
Well, to be honest with you, so I mentioned a few moments ago, I mentioned Jay Dearborn. We've had the luxury of having his father. So Jay is originally from Ontario. And so Jay's father has been a great supporter, and I guess you can call him a recruiter for us. So he lives in Ontario, and he goes around and sees all the games, lots of games. And so he says, "Hey, I've been seeing these guys, seeing this kid Isaac. You should come check him out." And so in the fall, when they have the big, when all their big games are taking place, we come and we try to make some contact with guys and reach out to them and talk to them about Holland College. But we unfortunately don't have the luxury of having the money to be able to travel and do tons of recruiting. So we do rely on some former alumni, guys that have been close to the program to help us out, that find kids for us, and then we do our due diligence and check them out and come and see them when we can. So that's kind of what happened there with Isaac. We had the luxury of someone else seeing him first and really encouraged us to go check him out. And once we did, now Ross Young, who is a former head coach that I worked with. I was the assistant head coach for 3 years under him. He met Isaac last year, I believe it was last fall, and that's kind of how the ball got rolling with him.
And going into the fall of 2019, and say, with how players fit into your program and Isaac being your first year, where do you see Isaac fitting into the Hurricane program this coming fall?
Sure. Well, one thing I tell all my recruits, because I never want to mislead a kid, but again, we sit differently than most universities. Most universities are building a program. They have 3, 4, sometimes 5 years with guys to really build a program and bring guys in to mold them and get them ready for 2 or 3 years from now. Well, I don't have that luxury. It's a 2-year program here. Most of the time, if you go to UPEI, you have an opportunity, University of Prince Edward Island, to continue to play with us after Holland College. But so I tell the guys, all the time, look, and I told my current players, hey, nothing's guaranteed when you come into camp. It's an open camp. The best, I guess for lack of a better way to say it, best guy wins. Who we feel is going to help us the most, who's going to, do the job and do what he's done. Those are the guys that's going to get the opportunities to play. So we don't come into the season with expectations of someone else being the starter. I come in, okay, who wants to prove themselves? Who's ready to get on the field and play football? So, I always tell my recruits, when you come in, you got to be ready to play football the day you walk on camp. not thinking, okay, I got a year to get myself ready. No, come ready to play, and you got a real good shot of playing.
And that's the benefit of like with the Sault Sabercats here with the OFC is
Right.
again Sault Ste. Marie, long way to travel. We know that living here, same as the PEI, but with the
Sure.
OFC, it still gives them the full summer to prepare for the fall, but also get to play at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I tell kids, if you have the opportunity to play in the summer, play, keep yourself in shape. And and some like, well, I don't want to get hurt. Well, that's a choice, every individual makes. I'll never tell a kid not to play football, unless, obviously medical reasons, things like that. But I encourage you guys to play, keep yourself ready. So when you come in the fall, man, you're ready to get after it. And like I said, we have a quick turnaround from the time our camp starts to our first game is only about, well, as far as practice day, you're only talking about 12 days. So we don't get really, a long time to prepare these guys. So the better they come in prepared physically to play football, the better off we are, getting the season moving forward.
Totally understandable. Well, Steve, I can't thank you enough for taking your time out of your busy day today to talk a little bit about Isaac and the Hurricane program.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Go Canes.